Good evening and welcome to Capital University's second annual Breaking the Silence event. For those of you who chose to remain silent or participated in a silent meal, you now understand the frustrations and vulnerability of remaining silent. Someone who truly remains silent does so as a result of being coerced or forced through oppressive bullying, harassment, and intimidation. They fear being further harassed or persecuted if they speak out. Today, you participated to help end the silence that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and ally students face on a daily basis. A major issue that is often overlooked and rarely touched upon is the usage of homophobic remarks. I'm not talking about words like faggot, queer, or dyke. Although those words are hurtful and should not be said, the phrases I'm getting at have been normalized to refer to something or someone that is perceived as stupid or worthless. This is most frequently heard in the form of "that's so gay" or "you're so gay," along with the newly developed term "no homo." As part of my research methods class, I assessed the frequencies of hearing and using homophobic remarks at Capital University. Based off of GLSEN's climate survey, I distributed a survey via SurveyMonkey to all students at Capital University. Over a 2-week period, 457 students responded. I found that 42.3% of participants heard gay used in a negative way, such as "that's so gay" or "you're so gay," frequently or often at Capital. 25.8% of participants reported hearing other homophobic remarks such as dyke, faggot, or queer frequently or often. While when asked the location of hearing homophobic remarks, the highest amount was 28.9%, and that was reported being heard in the MDR. All of these findings boiled down to one thing: homophobia. Griffin and Ganaski refer to homophobia as the irrational fear or intolerance of homosexuality, gay men or lesbians, and even behavior that is perceived to be outside the boundaries of traditional gender role expectations. According to Dox and Kite, they define the gender belief system as a set of beliefs and opinions about males and females and about the supposed qualities of masculinity and femininity. At birth, we are ascribed the status of either male or female, and throughout our life we are expected to stay within that socialized box of normality. With it is society's assumption that heterosexuality is the only acceptable sanction in normal sexual orientation. This is known as heterosexism, according to Griffin and Ganaski. Blumenfeld states that homophobia locks all people into rigid gender-based roles, and from institutions such as family, religion, and schools, or athletics, to our everyday interactions, to the type of toys we play with when we are little, we are constantly reinforced with a division of gender, showing us how to do gender as male, masculine, or female, feminine. But never are we shown that it is okay to fall somewhere in between the two. Therefore, with the stratification of male and female on either end, homophobia is a strategy used to ensure immobility of gender. Blumenfeld points out around 10 ways that homophobia affects everyone. Here are just a few. Homophobia forces us to act macho if we are a man, or feminine if we are a woman. This limits our individuality and self-expression. It puts pressure on straight people to act aggressively and angrily towards the LGBTQ people. It makes it hard to be close friends with someone of the same sex. It causes youth to become sexually active before they are ready, so that they can be perceived as normal. This can lead to unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases. It makes it hard to appreciate true diversity and the unique traits that are not mainstream or normal. And ultimately, homophobia can be used to hurt a straight person if they appear to be gay. Our main message tonight is that regardless of how we identify, homophobia affects everyone. Some other key findings from my research are that homosexual students were more likely to be harassed than heterosexual students. This was 44% compared to 26.03% of heterosexual students. Men indicated using homophobic language at higher rates than women. This is a result of the gender belief system. It causes men to foster negative attitudes towards gay men, and they are more likely to express these negative attitudes. Along with more results identifying the frequencies of hearing and using homophobic remarks, I compared it between varsity athletes and non-varsity athletes. I will say this: the results are significant. If you're interested in learning more, please attend my research presentation at the symposium on Wednesday. By allowing negative and hate-based homophobic language, we are all contributing to an environment of homophobia by remaining silent. With silence, it provides acceptance and causes people to view this type of language as normative. As authors Griffin and Ganaski point out, we are all homophobic regardless of our sexual orientation, because we live in a society that teaches us to fear and condemn gay men and lesbians. And unless we speak out against what the dominant culture views as normal, we will remain homophobic. Johnson believes that, like every oppressive system of privilege, patriarchy feeds on silence. He believes that breaking silence is especially vital. He urges us to start taking little steps to withdraw ourselves from a system that creates polar opposites with men and women. We need to stop the view of our gender as solid and constant, but view it as fluid. We live within a spectrum of gender. Once we start down the path of least resistance and begin making different choices that do not support a patriarchal society, we are planting the seed, disrupting the process of homophobia. We begin to create change. Although it may be hard to see, knowing that we got one individual to rethink saying something like "that's so gay," it is an accomplishment. By remembering that not everyone comes from the same lifestyle, and that LGBT people can be found in every class, on every team, and on every staff, we can unlearn heterosexism. Because homophobia, regardless of how we identify, affects everyone.